Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, Loc'D. I had to put on a backlight because even though it is broad daylight, the sun is it's giving gloomy. So at some point you might hear some rain. We're just gonna live our lives. Today we're here in honor of Blackoween, and I'm so excited that y'all are here and that y'all are participating in Blackoween. I'm gonna go ahead and manifest that for you, that we are participating in Blackoween. Amen. I know that's right. I know that's right. So today I'm about to go ahead and embarrass myself, and I'll be doing a reaction to my 2022 Blackoween TBR, and to see if there's any way that I can add what I didn't read to this year. We're gonna do this little social experiment and see if it happens. You know what I mean? So let's get to the video. Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to rock some Halloween stuff. I forgot what I was about to say. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about books I want to read. My read-along. Sorry, my read-a-thon. Blackoween-a-thon. Blackoween for short. Really, live your best, right? So I have a lot of books. It is quite ambitious, but we're gonna try to live our best, okay? This is just water because bad bitches gotta drink water. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just here. And I needed that reminder. I needed that reminder that bad bitches need to drink water, because I'm gonna drink water after this. Ain't the last time I checked. If you hear anything, it's my fan, because I am not about to sweat. So that time it was the fan. Now it's the rain. I'm feeling a bit hot mess-ish. You know what I mean. In this video, like I did in previous videos, but the details for sure. Skeletons on my chest, and this is how we're gonna do it. Let me go and look at my list, because let me tell y'all, last time I looked at this list, it was over 10 books. If I wasn't in a PhD program, doable. But since that I am, we'll see what gets read. So I decided that joke's on me, that PhD program is done. Sometimes I feel like I'd be over-explaining things, so I'm just going to try to get through this list as quickly as possible. I'll also put a link to the books via Storygraph or Goodreads so that you can continue reading about the book. So I'll move over a little bit so that you can see it. So the first one is A Scandal in Brooklyn by Lauren Wilson. I haven't heard anyone really. So I did read this one. It's not much to tell. I don't think I remembered much of it. You know how you just read a book and you're like, yeah, I read it, but I can't really tell you much about it, because I'm not saying it didn't merit like to talk about something, but it was okay. You know what I mean? Like in the moment that I read it, it was okay. It's not something that I would scream all over the internet that you should read. It's a good short story. If you're looking for a short story, definitely get into that. Talking about this book, what I know from this book is that it kind of follows that formula of a Sherlock Holmes, which really brought me into wanting to read this book. So I'm gonna pause here and just press where I'm talking about the video or the book, just to have this go a little faster. So now we're gonna go to the next book. Perfect Sister by Desiree. I found this on Amazon, so if you have Kindle Unlimited or Amazon, I think you can go ahead and get the book. So I did get the book from Kindle, because I think I got it from Kindle Unlimited. And if you hear that squeaking, that's my chair. That's not flatulence. Okay? But anyway, I don't think this one was that much to write home about as well. It wasn't for me. Even in my personal my book tracker for the year, I have a section where I say, is this memorable? Is this book memorable? And this book would not be a memorable book. Can't remember if it's on Kindle Unlimited. That I'm going to read for Blackoween is We Lie Here. This book is by Rachel Housel Hall. And so I've been trying to get into more books by Rachel Housel Hall, and this book was okay. It was a solid 3, maybe 3.5 star. I really enjoyed the end of the book more than anything else, but here we are, you know what I mean? And I just can't wait to read this book because, to be honest, I've been trying to get into more of Rachel's books, more into her cat. Okay, just calling myself out. By Tananarive Due. Y'all know I love Tananarive Due, and still do. So the Ghost Summer Stories by Tananarive Due, to me, was a really good read. I found a lot of the stories to be very intriguing. There were some stories that I felt like it could have had more information in it to make it more enjoyable for me, but for the most part I did like the stories. And reading those stories gave me an idea of how the Good House came, and how her writing style came from that, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know if the Good House came first or the ghost stories came first, because so many authors be like, I wrote that 12 years ago and didn't got it published. So I don't know the order, but it made sense of why the Good House was written. This book is The X's by Brandon Massey. We already know my love for Brandon, so I still have love for Brandon Massey. However, The X's by Brandon Massey, I did DNF it. I'm just being honest with y'all. I DNF'd it. I did not PNF it, which is pause for now. I DNF'd it because a lot of times there is a small amount of stalking that I can take in a book. If the book is really heavily on stalking, or there's books that be like, hey, there's a stalking, you know, plot or whatever in the book, and I'll be like, oh, well, the stalking was light to me, right? But there's sometimes the stalking is heavy, and I felt that the stalking was more than what I wanted. I won't say like on what end it was, because I don't know how you will experience the book, but for me it was a bit more stalking than I was ready to mentally put myself in the headspace of. So we're gonna go to the next book. The recent release prompt for Blackwing is These Toxic Things by Rachel Howzell Hall. So what I know is that this is about a story of a young woman who makes a collection of digital memories for people, and then one of her clients ends up dying by suicide. So if that is These Toxic Things, I wanted to get to it, didn't get a chance to get to it. So now we have one book that is a possible of adding to my TBR in October. Content warning for you, I wouldn't say read this book. And it has to do a lot. Let's see what else is here. You can edit all this out, Brie. Which is a book by Veronica G. Henry. I believe that it is the second book to the Quarter Storm, I believe. I would have to double check that, and I will put it in the description box below so that you know. But it is the second book. Hold on, I need to make sure. I can't just keep saying it and not check. Yes, spot on. It is the second book of the Mamba Reina series. It follows the story of this sleuth named Mamba Reina. She is a voodoo priestess, and she is trying. So I'm going to read The Foreign Exchange, which I don't think I got to read. I don't remember reading that book last October. So that's 2 books. I'm gonna read that one because I do want to read something that is set in New Orleans, so I'm going to pick that one up. So now we have 2 possibilities. Lakewood by Megan Gidding. I've been trying to read this book for about 3 years. So I did read Lakewood by Megan Giddings, and I thought it was a good book. It was a solid, I think I either gave it 3.75 or anywhere between 3 and 4 stars, and I think that's a perfect rating for it, depending on extra things. I did write a review for it somewhere, maybe on Goodreads. I don't know, y'all. I don't be writing reviews like I should. I just be out here chatty, and I'm just being honest. I'm trying to find, so I can't get to, I must have put the wrong number for the book, The Quiet Ones. So The Quiet Ones is by Brandon Massey, and I don't think I read that one. So now we have The Foreign Exchange. We have the quiet ones, and we got these toxic things as possibles for to add to my Blackoween TBR that I already have, and that if this all go well, you've already seen it. Okay, so now we're moving on to the type book that Kiwi Quarterly has written. I've read other books by him, so this is another like PI investigation. And it's so Sleep Well, My Lass, or My Lady, sorry, I wrote it wrong in the description box, but Sleep Well, My Lady by Kiwi Quarterly, or Corti, is a really good book to me. I truly enjoy the 2 series that I've been following from him. I've been slowly reading them, but I do plan to read another Kiwi Quarterly book as well, but I did like that one, so I don't need to read that one. Cemetery Road by Gar Anthony Haywood. And what I can tell you about this story is about this person who is living in Los Angeles. His name is Kendi. There was a crime that happened 26 years earlier, and then when he moves back, he finds out more secrets about what happened to the person who was brutally murdered, and then other secrets start to reveal themselves. So Gary Anthony Haywood is actually one of the authors who have some crime fictions that are Black classics, and I need to get into his books, and I'm gonna try my best to read Cemetery Road by Gar Anthony Haywood. For Blackoween, if I don't get to it, I will move it to my December TBR, and currently December is typically one of the only months where I really stick to the TBR that I make, and I only make TBRs for 3 months out of the whole year, which is September, October, and December. That's it. That's it. Because the other months, I'm just out here ragging it, living my life, you know what I mean? And I don't know why, but I think I'm really starting to like put me first. So this follows the story of this person named Jay Porter, and they are trying to figure out what is the length or what people will do to stay true to themselves in the most insidious way, and what will they do to cover up something that happened. Jay is in Pleasantville, and he has to figure out what happened to this man, and he's in the process of trying to try his first murder case in a community that has a bunch of secrets. So I really like this book, mainly because Pleasantville, the main characters to me, I mean the side characters to me are the main characters in this book. I feel like if you're looking for a book where the main characters are good, they're giving, but the side characters just add so much to the story, I would definitely choose Pleasantville. But also Attica Locke rarely lets me down in any of the books that she writes, so I'm down for that. It is in the African Immortal series that she wrote many years ago, and I have read all the books up to Blood Colony, so I want to go ahead and continue the story of David and Jessica. We all know that I got big issues with Jessica. I still got big issues with Jessica, but it's a product of what she's doing, who she's around, and David is just a class asshole. That is just what he is. And for Blood Colony, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I read it last year. I think I wanted to, but I don't think I got to it. So that's that. Morowa Yejide, or Yeide, forgetting the pronunciation. I started this book a couple months ago and stopped because I had to prioritize other books. I have to read this synopsis, y'all. I feel like once I read it, y'all gonna be like, I need to get this book right now. So my Goodreads app just crashed, and I am not finding a lot of information to describe the book. So the book, Creatures of Passage, I really thought that I was gonna read it, and I didn't read it. And I was supposed to read this book years ago, and I probably said that also in the review before I just paused it. But I think I'm gonna DNF it because I have no pull to want to read it right now. I also have tried to read it several times and just couldn't get into the story. So I think right now I'm just gonna DNF it. That's really terrible, but that's kind of where I'm at. is Shades of Black. This is a book I talked about reading and I invited other people to read it with me. This is not a buddy read of Blackoween-a-thon. I took the buddy read off just so people can just have more time of reading whatever they wanted to read. That is, group reads are back this year, so that's the thing. But the Shades of Black crime fiction, edited by Eleanor Taylor Bland, who's also a Black crime fiction writer. I have not read this book yet. I do still own it. I do still have it. I won't put it on my priority list for Blackoween 2023. But I will put it on my priority list to have it read before the end of 2024 because I do love short stories. It just takes me forever to get to them. So I can add These Toxic Things, The Foreign Exchange, The Quiet Ones, and Cemetery Road, and Black Colony. That's a lot. Yeah, so I think what I'll do is do like a number generator. So I'll do a number generator and be like, whichever one I choose, I will read the first 3 or something. And I can just try to keep adding these years to come. But I make a new TBR every year for Blackoween 2023. I just wanted to go back to 2022 and take some recommendations from that video as well. So that is that on that. I want to say thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you go back and you see what you've read or what you haven't read, and you know what that's all about, and see if you can get that done and get your reading done. So again, if you're looking ways to support my channel, the links are working and below. If you are looking to be a Patreon, my Patreon is also below, and I will see y'all later. Don't forget to comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Talk to you later. Bye. I just want to know, like, how